So this tip is all about the driver, what to look for when you're going to buy a driver, some information about things that make the driver different, ball position, tee height, basic swing fundamentals that are a little bit different with the driver than they are with the rest of the clubs. If this is your first time to Anne Rollo Golf YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button and hit the bell, and then anything I do in the future you'll get to know of straight away. So let's get started. So let's start with some of the basic things that make the driver a bit different to the rest of the clubs in your bag. Your driver is the only club that you'll hit off a tee. So your ball position and tee height are two things that are really important. So let's start with that ball position. Ball position with the driver is in line with the inside of your front heel. Now the reason that we move the ball from around about the center for most of the clubs forward that far is because with the driver we're trying to sweep the ball up and away and off the tee. Now you'll see a lot of tips where people talk about trying to hit up on a driver. If you're an average golfer, I would probably ignore that. A really good player, sure, but as an average golfer, your tendency is to try and help the ball up anyway. So if you hear tips about trying to sweep the ball up, I would probably ignore it. Let the club do the work. There's plenty of loft here on the club designed to help you lift the ball just with a normal swing, and simply moving the ball position forward into this ball position here is enough to allow that sort of sweeping action. So here is your perfect ball position in line with the inside of the front heel, and it's going to feel a bit forward, but that's what you want for your driver. Tee height is another question we get asked an awful lot as golf professionals. How high do I need to tee the ball with my driver? And the simple answer is about half the ball showing above the top of the driver, above the top of the wood there. That'll change for different woods. So if you were hitting a fairway wood off the tee, it would be lower, but you still have the top half of the ball showing above the top. So what else is different about the driver? Not much, but the main other thing I would say is width of stance. So when you're setting up for most of your clubs, your feet are around about shoulder width apart in the heels because the toes will point out a little bit. With your driver, you're going to widen that about an inch on either side. The reason we do that is because the driver is the longest club in the bag. It can be quite a big swing arc, so we want a bit better base, a bit wider stance, just to give us a really good solid grip on the ground. Your weight will always stay centered to start with. That allows for the weight to move back and then through, which is what you want in your perfect driver swing. So that's really what makes the driver different from any other club. And in terms of your basic swing, then it's going to stay the same. If you think of golf as having one swing, the different clubs and the different setup positions change things a little bit, but the basic fundamentals of your swing will not change from club to club. We've moved the ball forward, we've widened our stance a little bit, we've teed that ball up, and other than that, let the club swing. It's designed to do it for you. They spend a lot of time and effort and money designing these clubs to do the work for you, so let that happen. Take your setup, get that right, and then keep your swing pretty much the same throughout all your clubs. So what about buying golf clubs? Now it can be a little bit overwhelming knowing what to buy when you're looking for a driver, and the most important thing will be to get fitted. So if it's the first time you've ever bought a driver, go into a Drummond Golf or a big golf warehouse where they've got fitting machines and get on there, and they will help you out with it. The most important things that you'll be looking for are the loft of the club. Women need more loft than men do because our swing speed is slower, so we need more loft to counteract that and lift the ball up into the air. The carry of the ball is so important to get power. A lot of people think that they don't want to carry the ball too high in the air, but that is actually a bit of a fallacy. You do need height to get that carry and get the ball rolling, because if it's too low, it's going to hit the ground early, and there's a lot more resistance on the ground than there is in the air. So you do want a decent amount of loft. The average loft for the ladies' driver is 12, and the average loft for the men is 9. So again, get fitted so you know what's right for you. The flexibility of the shaft is also really important as well. Ladies need a much more flexible shaft than men do. Obviously we don't have the swing speed, so we need a little bit of help, a little bit of whippiness, just helps to flick that ball a little bit further out. The length is less important. The longer the club, the further the ball will go, but obviously that's within reason, so there is a limit to how long you can have it and what's practical as well. So the length of the shaft might depend more on how tall you are, how short you are, that sort of thing. Again, they will check all that out for you. If you already have clubs, then take your driver with you if you're looking to buy a new one, and they'll be able to pop you on the machine and they'll be able to compare how far your ball goes now with the driver and if something else is going to be better, because obviously there's no point buying anything if it's not going to be better, carry further, run further, go straighter, suit you better, the whole thing. So I think that's all you need to think about. Loft, flexibility of shaft, length. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe if you like the look of it, less important with the driver than that would be with a putter. But the most important thing is to get fitted for it. Don't just go and buy yourself something that looks like you might like it. All right, so that's it for our driver tips. I hope you've enjoyed this tip on the driver. And if you did, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell. And we will see you next time on And Roller Golf.